Tour Junkies.
What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the 2025 American Express Credit Card Tap to Pay Championship from Dome Golf Central in California is what we're doing tonight. We're going to talk some betting picks, talk a little bit of our favorite outrights, some top 20s, a little bit of DFS chatter, of course, a football parlay at the end. And we're going to be joined by our friend Matt Every, as we are every single week, two-time PGA Tour winner and overall just cool guy, is going to join us here in just a few to break down the golf course. We're going to unveil our new season-long bet here in just a second. First of all, Pat, you look good. You've got your camera now set up a little better. Your
camera set up. I got it. I got a little bit of a background now, although you can only see one frame. But by the way, you know what this is, DB?
That's a Masters signed thing.
Bob Golby signed that.
Bob Golby. Dang, that's nice. That is cool.
Golby. Yeah.
Of course, Bob Golby is the namesake of our blind squirrel mascot. That's a little TJ trivia for you there. Famous quote, Pat. Can you say the famous quote by Mr. Golby?
Something about winning, but I got the green jacket. They, may not have something.
Come on, man. You should be able to say this in your sleep. You should have we should both have it tattooed on us.
Well, I haven't.
I got the green jacket, but I never got the credit.
That's right. Yeah.
We had the Sony. Oh God. We're off Hawaii. Nick Taylor. I'm going to ask this to Matt in just a minute. But maybe I could, we can have the listeners rolling it around in their brain. How does a guy who hasn't had a top 10 since the Waste Management Phoenix Open last year, hasn't had a top 10, how does he do that? How does he chip in, make it to the playoff, spray it all over the yard during the playoff, putt it out of his absolute mind, beat arguably one of the hottest golfers on tour in the last 5 or 6 months, given the fall, Nico? How does that happen? And were you annoyed by it? Because I was a little annoyed by it. It feels unjust to me. Now, I definitely didn't want JJ Spawn to win. I don't know why. I just cannot stand that guy. I want to punch him in the face. I have no reason. He could be the greatest guy. He just is the most punchable little dude out there that I just did not want to see win. And so I was glad to see him starting to fade, but I just didn't see it happening. But people had him. Some people bet him. Nick Taylor.
I don't understand the hate for Nick Taylor. I mean, he's won 5 times now on the PGA Tour, David. 5 times. And it's clear that him winning. Are you having an espresso martini? What the
I am
hell?
not.
What is that?
I'm drinking something on the show tonight. I was like, you know what? I need a little podcast juice tonight. I don't think in 10 years of recording this show, I've had this drink on this show. I've made myself a nice little Manhattan, little Basil Hayden's.
Oh, wow.
Manhattan.
Looks delicious.
You know what's in a Manhattan, Pat?
Some bourbon and some fruity stuff or something. I don't know.
No fruity stuff. Vermouth and bitters. Yeah, just bourbon, vermouth.
Angostura bitters or orange bitters?
Yeah.
What am I? Listen, I think that Nick Taylor deserves more credit. I think, granted, it's hard to peg when he's going to win when he doesn't have a top 10 in forever. But, I mean, he's won some big tournaments, won at Phoenix, won the Canadian Open. He seems to – does he win when all his entire family is in town? Like, maybe we need to figure out when Nick Taylor's entire family is in town, and that's how we know that he might have a chance to win. I don't know. But I feel like they're always there when he wins. But, I mean, look, I'm kind of sick that I didn't have him on the card, but I don't know why you would. But if you did, good for you. But I still think Nick Taylor just overall deserves a little more credit because the guy just is a baller. I mean, he makes eagle on his 72nd hole to make the playoff. And then he goes in there and beats Nico, who's been Nico's a stud. We'll talk about Nico later, I'm sure. That dude's a stud, man.
Is he? I guess he is, huh? Well, we didn't have Nick on the card. We both had a little bit of a sweat. At least it wasn't much of a sweat. We both had Keegan on the card. Yeah. I had Harry Hall up there for a minute till he faded.
Eric Cole. I had Eric Cole. He was in the final.
Other than that, we didn't get a lot right. Your football parlay was miserable. I hit 2 of 3. Mav McNeely did not come through for me. But my football picks hit.
Wait, I was getting credit in the Discord.
Not for your parlay.
Well, I know that some of them didn't hit, but they were quite excited about the playoff portion of it. So if you just bet on there being a playoff, which was 3.5 to 1, you would
Oh
have
yeah,
won some money.
I forgot about that. I had a couple of nice hits on SoBet. That's the first 2 weeks of the year. I am on fire on SoBet. Exclusive Tour Junkies plays dropped on SoBet every single week for golf. I hit a plus 173 ball. I hit a plus an even money matchup as well, using the bet the number tools, the matchup tool, and then dropping it on SoBet. Dropped one of those in the Discord, but SoBet's off to a hot start right now for yours truly, and I'm pretty excited about it. And other handicappers as well, kicking ass, taking names on SoBet on the regular basis. 60, 70 plus handicappers now on SoBet. Tons of great content over there. Get your betting picks, advice from pros you can trust with transparency, unit allocations, logic around their plays. It's not just like, hey, I'm doing this, see ya, bye. How much confidence they have in a play, how much they're betting on the play themselves. These are legit people vetted by the SoBet team, asked to join the platform, invited to join the platform. Not just anybody can sign up and say, I'm going to be a handicapper on SoBet. They are vetted and invited. How we got on there, I don't know. But this was obviously before last year. So here we are. Now we're cooking with grease, and we're ready to go on SoBet. Click the link in the description. Join SoBet if you have not already. If you click our link, you can get the first month for just $1. It's like 60 cents a day or something after that. It's super easy. So give it a shot. You won't regret it. Every sport imaginable. Obviously, NFL playoffs going on. NBA, baseball is going to heat up here in just a couple months. Golf, all of the above on SoBet. Let's talk about our season-long bet. We're going to have Matt Every join us here in just a second. Going to get his picks. Going to get his thoughts on the breakdown for the golf course. So we talked about the season-long format, and we came to a. It's similar to last year, but it's got a twist on it. Last year we picked one name to fade. This year we're going to pick two guys. We're also going to involve Matt on the selections, and we're going to involve producer Tony. So it's a 4-way contest. And there is no, I guess we didn't really determine what the winner gets. We just said there's going to be a punishment for last place. So for now, we need to determine, first of all, the last place punishment, but maybe we do something for whoever wins too. Last year, obviously you lost, you still haven't paid your bet. I doubt you've made any progress on that. Would you like to update us on anything there, Pat?
No, there's been no progress.
Are you going to see Orvis? Are you going to go to the Orvis concert later? What is Orvis? What is this hoodie? That feels like an old man, like wiener pill or medicine or butt medicine or something.
You don't know what Orvis is?
No, I've never heard of it. Is this like a coastal thing? You have to have a boat and
no, it's actually a rivers and stream thing. There's a store. There's an Orvis store in Augusta. It's like the one store I know where yes. It's in Augusta. It's right down the street from Augusta National.
What do you get? You buy fish
Yeah,
stuff?
they got fishing gear. They're a fly fishing company, and like that's what they originally were, but now they got all kinds of fishing gear.
Okay. I don't do any of that.
I can't believe you've never even seen Orvis. Literally, you've probably walked by that store 100 times.
Oh, Tony's. Okay. Okay.
Perfect flannel.
The perfect flannel.
I don't wear flannel though. Not a flannel wearer. It's too hot for me.
I'm a little suspicious of a black guy wearing flannel and fly fishing, advertising your stuff. I don't know.
Pat wasn't available.
You said it, not me, Tony. I didn't say it.
Pat wasn't available for the photo shoot that day. Yeah, you'd look good on there. Somebody needs to Photoshop your face into that. I bet they'd sell more flannels. They'd be like, yeah, that guy definitely wears flannel.
No, I don't. I'm not. I just said I'm not a flannel guy. I don't think flannel looks good on me.
Maybe like the loser has to wear flannel every day for the whole month of August or something.
I don't think any of us would agree to that.
Tony's in Texas, Matt's in Florida. Like that would be miserable for any of us.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do a draft. We already determined draft order beforehand. And every week we are each going to pick. This time we're not doing fades. We're doing plays we like. We each get to pick one name at 50 to 1 or shorter, and one name at 150 to 1 or longer that we want. And we're gonna do season earnings. So this time we want our players to do well. So you want your guys to do as good as possible. Obviously, a win is great. Doesn't have to be a win. And you can't pick the same player as somebody else each week. And the guy with the most money at the end of the season wins. The guy with the least money is the loser at the end of. We usually stop this at like the BMW or something. That's probably when we'll stop it. Right? Everything good? We got that? Everybody set?
I think so. I'm set. Good.
All right. So in the YouTube comments, now we need some suggestions, punishments for the season-long loser, and we'll figure out a maybe something for the victor, whoever wins. But definitely the punishment is the most important thing for the fourth place finisher. So drop that in the YouTube comments, hit the like button, subscribe if you've not already. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's bring in our boy Matt every week. We get Matt every. There he is. What's up, buddy?
What's up, boys?
He's like, God, I got to do this again. He's like, oh.
No.
He let out that deep breath, right?
Sound good.
That deep breath was for my heinous picks last week. They were terrible.
Look, see, Matt, you'll get the hang of this, buddy. When that happens, we just act like it didn't happen. We're already moved on. We don't even know. Don't even know.
Yeah, what's done is done, right?
You know how, Matt, if you have a bad hole when you're playing a pro tour event and you do a major club toss because you're upset. Like when it comes to this, you just you do the club toss or if you want to, but you just kind of let it go after that. Like it's like each hole is each tournament is a new tournament. You got to let it get past you. Don't bring it on to the next tournament. Isn't that what they say?
That's kind of how I was when I played, to be honest, Pat. Just rip the Band-Aid off, get it over with. I'd rather get that grown man anger out instead of whining the rest of the rest of the round. So we're good to go. I'm ready to pick some winners this week.
Okay, did you hear my Nick Taylor thing? What can you talk to me about that? Because I mean, obviously a lot of this is golf betting, right? It's hard as crap. It's the hardest sport to handicap. It's random, it's variable. We've already talked about all the stuff we don't know. We talked about that for the century, like strokes gain home life, and there's so much we don't know. But when Nick Taylor, who is obviously four-time PGA Tour winner at this point,
dude,
goes almost a year without top 10ing and then wins. Like, what's happening? How does that work from a pro standpoint? What's happening?
I think Nick and I are on the same age. I'll just look at it from my perspective and what I know about Nick. Nick's a fierce competitor. So a guy like him, clearly he's talented enough to win out there. He's done it 4 or 5 times. It is not easy to win on the PGA Tour 4 times. I mean, you are in special company doing that stuff. We've seen what kind of dog he has in him. He just needs a sniff. Now, predicting when it's going to come, that's brutal with a guy like him. But if I'm a handicapper and I see that guy's name near that front page of the leaderboard late Saturday, you have to look at a guy like him. He just needs a sniff, and it's his. He's older now. I'm pretty sure he's in his 40s. Who knows? That win in Phoenix, naturally, you probably ease off the gas pedal a little bit. You're like, all right, man, I'm good for 3 or 4 more years. Next thing you know, he doesn't play probably how he wanted to the rest of the year, comes back recharged this year and gets a sniff in Sony and takes it down.
It's wild.
Yeah, I think, Nick's just like you said, he's one of those guys that you just, you can't really handicap because, he can go like a string of tournaments in a row where you just don't see anything out of him. But all of a sudden, this is what happens. So,
Pat, what did you think about Mike Weir leaving Nick Taylor off the President's Cup?
I mean, I would have thought that if he's a guy that has that dog in him when he has the taste of victory, then wouldn't you think that would translate over to being a good President's Cup player?
Honestly, to me, he fits the same mold. I know they're 2 totally different players, but the same kind of mold as Keegan. I don't give a damn what this guy's form is. If it's halfway decent, I'm putting him in the spot because this guy's made for this spot. He delivers almost every time in spots like these. I thought it was a little shocking, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, he made a 70-foot putt on the in a playoff or on the 18th hole to win the Canadian Open in Canada.
How about the way he won Phoenix this year? I mean, he ran the table on the way in, just making like 12-footer after 12-footer, and he knew he had to make them. I mean, he literally had to run the table.
Yeah, that fits the profile of a match play guy if I've ever seen it. So I agree with you there.
Wouldn't have mattered at the President's Cup. Doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter.
Probably wouldn't have.
Now, if Canada becomes a 51st state, do we want him on Team USA? Absolutely.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's enough. We can retire the Sony. Let's move on. Stateside at the Amex, you got a 3-course rotation. Nicholas, Stadium, and Pat.
La Quinta.
That's right. That's our favorite. That's a throwback back in the day, 10 years ago, to this week. doing the Amex breakdown for the first time, and Pat back in the day used to do the course breakdown, and he called it dead serious La Quinta.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
I
he did.
did.
No way.
Yes,
That's all time.
100%. So it remains La Quinta.
It's always La Quinta.
Yeah,
It will always be. But I
Yeah.
can say it. It is La Quinta. It's La Quinta. But
we should do t-shirts that say "Never Not La Quinta" and somehow
Yeah.
figure out a way to make it hype. Like, how do you say? Like, you notate it to where you can tell that it's La Quinta. I don't know how we do that, but somebody work on that.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the golf courses. Obviously, they're going to play Stadium Course twice if they make the 54-hole cut, full field event. You got the Pro-Am aspect, right? This is kind of a Pro-Am. We have a Pro-Am podcast. We got a Pro, and you got 2 amps right here.
Yeah, we do.
Pat, very much amps.
Yeah.
So this is a Pro-Am environment. Talk to us a little bit about that, because we know the rounds are slow. We know you're having to deal with hacks out there. We know pin placements usually tend to be a little easier.
Yep.
Anything else that maybe people should know about the courses and about the format?
Well, I mean, look, the Pro-Am part's a real part of this golf tournament. I mean, your mindset going into it definitely shifts a little bit to like, this is going to be extra slow this week. And it is. I mean, even if you get perfect weather, you're looking at 5.5 hour rounds. It's a little different too than like the Pro-Am at Pebble. Pebble, you're playing with the same amateur all 3 rounds. Here, you rotate AMs every day. So you're getting 3 new guys, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, it's a bit of a crapshoot. And some guys have their normal amateur they play with. I honestly think that can be an advantage. I had this dude, Pat Hamill. He was a home builder out in Denver, but he was my partner at Pebble for a few years. And even like when I was playing like dog crap, it was a nice change of pace for me. Like I was in the second to last group 2 years in a row, late in my career, on the last day at Pebble, in an event that really shouldn't have set up nicely for me. It was almost a nice distraction at the time, but I definitely think patience plays a big part this week. It's a long week. Maybe a guy that skipped Hawaii. I don't mind that going into this week. 2 totally different things. Guys who have been over on the islands the last couple weeks, you're going to see them on the range this week, tweaking their swing a little bit. Everyone's going to be on their lead side right now. Everyone's leaning on it right now in Palm Springs.
Wait. Explain that. Break that down more, because the trends are the winners here, at least the winners, typically play either event, one event or both in Hawaii. I'm
just saying, like, your golf swing, usually when you come out of wind, so 2 weeks in a row, pretty windy Palm Springs is straight. It is dome. For the most part, it's dome golf, unless you get some kind of special weather event. Fuck. I don't know where I was going with that.
You're talking about guys leaning on it, guys coming back from Hawaii.
I don't mind a guy that's been hanging out in the desert the whole last week, playing these courses, getting used to how far the ball's flying, stuff like that, the grass.
We got to find
out maybe there is something to be said for, you said the trend, guys just knocking the rust off in Hawaii and coming over here and doing something, but I could see it either way.
Last week we did talk about, I will say that I think Nick Taylor had a pretty good record at Waialae, and we talked about how Waialae was very much kind of a course history spot. And the data kind of reflects that as well. I don't think that's really the case here. Do you? Do you agree or disagree there? Is this kind of a spot where you have to kind of have been around a few times to figure some things out or be comfortable on it? Not really.
No. I think whenever the scores are super low, that kind of goes out the window a little bit. No, not at all here. This is the ball's going to stop right where it lands for the most part. It's bombs away. Between the 3 courses, there are tough tee shots. Here and there, but usually on those tee shots, you can bail out the other way big time. And we saw it last year with Nick Dunlop on 18 under the pump. He hit a foul ball that would have been out of bounds on half the 18th holes on the PGA Tour. But you can bail. But ultimately, this is a straight up putting contest. If the weather's good, you're gonna have a ton of looks, and who's gonna make the most 10 or 15 footers this week? That's how I see it. I do not know how the model sees it.
Well, John Rahm will tell you that it's a putting contest. He says that out loud a few times at this course or this tournament. But let me ask you this though, before we talk about some picks. So we talk about always when you have these, these pro-am events and you look at Pebble Beach and you look at here with the 3 courses, when you're going into, as a tour player, you're looking at, an event that has 3 courses. What's your first thought about that? Is it really something you really care about? Or is it just, it's like, hey, it's going to be 3 courses and, we're going to get 2 if I go to the final round. I mean, what's kind of is there any strategy at all? Or is this, you're just going to play the course you have to show up to that day?
Well, let's look at it from 2 sides. Let's look at it from like guys who are just getting their first taste on the tour, 3 courses. They might feel a little bit overwhelmed. My advice to them would be chill out. You don't really need to go play those courses. They're right in front of you. This is straight up TrackMan golf. I mean, the normalized number on TrackMan might as well just say Palm Springs. There's nothing going on out there. It can be stock everything.
That's a good idea. That's a good word though. Like I haven't thought about that for the young guys, the rookies that haven't.
Well, DB, you hear those. Sometimes they panic. I've seen my buddies do it when they get their card out there, and then they fly out to Palm Springs before Sony to play La Quinta and the 2 course and the Nicklaus Stadium, and usually they're packed, and it's just usually they come away like, man, that was a waste of time. Like, why did I do that? I don't think there's much to it this week. Patience, save your legs. There's gonna be long days, and look, some guys enjoy playing with amateurs. You see these dudes all year that you're playing with. It's nice to have a little switch up, and some of the tournament directors also through the years have become a little more welcoming to having buddies play together too. So you can, you might see, I don't know. You could see buddies playing together this week in a twosome with 2 strangers, and that goes a long ways as well.
Some people, Matt, would say that DB and I would probably be number 1 in the world when it comes to pro-am partners. Now we've only played 1 pro-am.
That's true.
And it wasn't even a PGA Tour. But I mean, I think David would agree with me. We were up there in the high rankings of.
I mean, tell him what he said, Matt.
Where was this at?
Tell him what our pro said.
He's played hundreds of pro-ams. He said
Hundreds.
it was the best and most favorite and fun pro-am he'd ever played in. And he played quite well that day too.
Is that Peter Malnati?
No, it was John Catlin at the Live in Nashville.
Yeah.
And he almost won that week as well. We were also great luck for him there.
I've had a lot of killer pro-am partners through the years. Life came full circle at me this event one year. When I was in elementary school, my best friend, his name was Mikey Singletary, and our moms carpooled together. She would take us, my mom would pick us up, drop us off at the house or whatever. So my buddy Mikey's mom, she's a total babe.
Mikey's mom had it going on.
Listen, she loved Michael Bolton. I mean, it's all she played.
I love Michael.
Yeah. It is literally all she played in the car. My whole child, 1st through 5th grade. So I get paired with Bolton over there one day, and he was killer. I'm like, man, you're not gonna believe this. I mean, you were a massive part of my childhood. Like, I know probably 5 of your songs, every word.
Yes.
And so we started chatting, and I was actually playing pretty good then, and I was just making everything. And he was like, you're the best putter I've ever played with. And I was like, I fucking love that you just told me that, because I'm going to hang on to that for the rest of my life. But it was cool.
Awesome.
We FaceTimed my buddy's mom. It was so hilarious. We chatted a little bit. I was like, so what are you doing now? He's like, I'm still pretty big in Asia. They love me in the karaoke bars over there. And I was like, sick, but he was a super guy. These pro-ams can be fun, man. You can run into some cool people.
Michael Bolton might be like, he would be on like.
What's your number 1 Michael Bolton song?
Time, Love, and Tenderness is a total pop. I love that one, and I have the.
I'm a How Can We Be Lovers If We Can't Be Friends. Banger.
Soul Provider is a sneaky old one. don't like.
That is real sneaky.
I have an original T-shirt from the Time, Love, and Tenderness tour that I spent way too much money on at a vintage T-shirt store. It's a T-shirt store, and I've worn it probably a dozen times. Never washed it because I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess up the threads. But God, I love Michael Bolton. That's amazing. What a story! I'm so glad you said that. If somehow the 4 of us, Michael, and the three of us could play around together, you could, just cue that up for us, Matt. That'd be awesome. Just let me know where to go and in the course record, we'll go. We'll have a good time.
All right.
I love me some Michael B. God, that's awesome. Well, so is there? Let me ask you this, because I'll look at this sometimes. Maybe this is just me nerding out. We have talked to you every week that we tend to overthink things. When I look at a guy who, and I'm probably going to come across one here in a little bit, but I don't have one off the top of my head. When I look at a guy who has not played this event in a long time, and could have maybe. Mm-hmm. Is that usually okay? Here's a guy. Look at Mackenzie Hughes, which typically I can't stand this guy.
Why?
I just can't, because he just annoys the shit out of me from a golf perspective.
God, I have guys like that too. I've found myself the last 2 weeks not picking certain players because I feel the same way, even though I know they're the right pick.
Yeah, he's an enigma. I can't ever figure him out. Statistically, he's an absolute nightmare. I don't even know how he keeps his card every year, but he just chips and putts like a beast. And then apparently, once or twice a quarter, he, has an out of body experience and he figures out how to hit his irons like an actual PGA Tour pro, and he wins, and it just ticks me off, and I can't stand it. He's probably a nice guy. No offense personally.
He's Canadian, of course he's nice. He's right. He's like the best.
But he's last played here in 2020. Okay. And it's not like, I look at an event like this, like Mackenzie Hughes could play in this event every year if he wanted to, based on his standings and qualifications or whatever. So is there a reason? When I see something like that, I go, ugh, maybe he doesn't love this event and he's here because of some requirement or obligation. Is there something to that for some guys?
Probably not I doubt it's a requirement or obligation. You got to take a week off somewhere. And I will say, if you play in Hawaii, Palm Springs is a pain in the ass to get to. And I hated coming from Hawaii to Palm Springs, because you're flying into LA, then you're driving 2 hours. And I know that sounds easy, but it never goes smoothly. It just doesn't. I always got sick coming from Hawaii to I would get the flu coming from Hawaii to Palm Springs.
You need to get the flu in the Detroit by the water scenario over there.
I actually really like Waikiki. I was way too on that. I'm sorry to our Detroit listeners. I did not mean to offend anybody.
We had one in the comments last week.
Listen, I got to pick somewhere. I could have picked Cleveland. I mean, my bad.
Yeah. We had a Detroit listener in the YouTube comments last week.
Oh, really?
The comments.
Yeah, I didn't mean anything bad by that. But it's an easy week to take off. Look, it's a pro-am and it's kind of a pain to get to. I find Palm Springs, I don't know what you guys think of it, but I thought it was a very depressing place. It's probably one of my least favorite tournaments on the PGA Tour, to be honest. It's just a good spot to take off. That's what I got for you.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, good stuff. Let's get into it then. Let's do our bets first. Let's do our season-long bets. I have the first pick. Now, Matt, you weren't on screen yet, but we did do a wheel, a random generator. I got the first pick. Tony's got second. You're third. Pat is fourth, and then we're gonna snake it. So I will pick first now, and I won't pick again for another 8 weeks or something. So we're gonna pick one guy at 50 to 1 or less, one guy at 150 to 1 or longer, and we can all debate. Me and Pat would have to run into this issue a little bit last year when as odds move, we could debate on whether or not we could allow a player if odds have dipped above or below the threshold there. So we'll all have to kind of police that within the group, and let's get it started. So I have the first pick. I'm going to grab and you can grab your 50 to 1 guy or your 150 to 1 guy first. Obviously up to you. Xander Schauffele has withdrawn. I feel obligated to take a favorite here because it's my one first pick for quite some time. So I'm going to take Sungjae Him at 14 to 1. Give me Sungjae, please. Producer Tony, mark that one down for me. And now it is on to you, sir, Producer Tony.
Alrighty. First pick of the year. I am going to go with Wyndham Clark.
Oh,
okay. All right.
Gross.
Tony. That's a gross pick, I think.
Yeah.
I love it even more. If you guys hate it.
Ooh.
Okay, all right.
He's got to be exhausted after the TGL and all that. Yeah. Matt.
All right, I go.
Yep.
I am going to take JJ Spawn.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Yes, I am.
Wow.
What is he at? What's he
He's
at?
45-1.
Okay.
What a first pick. Matt is coming out just
Were
stanky.
you thinking I was going to take Justin Thomas?
Yeah, I mean, somebody better than JJ Spawn.
All right. Well,
All right, Pat's got both his picks right now.
I'll be quick. I'm going to go with Tony Finau. Tony Finau will be my first pick.
You're not worried about the continuing knee injury? I mean, he played all right to Sony, I guess.
I'm not worried. And then I'm going to take at what I've seen at 170-1 Carson Young.
Ooh, I love me some Carson Young. Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, I don't hate that either.
I like that one. All right, man.
All right. I'm going to take at 150-1 Ryan Gerard.
I like that a lot.
Ooh,
I've been looking at him. I've been eyeing him.
Yeah, he's a nice player. He's
Yeah.
a nice player. I anyone that gets their card the way he did, I just have a fucking massive amount of respect for their game. And I think he's been seeing his buddy Ben Griffin, have some success. And I don't think the talent level there is that different at all. Maybe might even lean towards Ryan a little bit in the long run. But I look for big things from him this year.
Do you feel a little affinity to him because he threw a putter cover one time at his caddy?
That wasn't him.
Yeah, it was. They thought it was Gerard.
No, it was. Are you talking about the one that happened in the Bahamas on the Nationwide tour?
That
was Rain. That was Rain.
Oh,
Gibson.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm giving Gerard a bad name.
Yeah, you are. That guy's like the nicest guy ever. Rain's a great guy too, to be honest.
Ryan's like 20 years younger than Rain Gibson, though. All right. What a pair. JJ Spawn and Ryan Gerard. I do love Ryan Gerard though.
I do too.
Ballsy out of
JJ Spawn's winning this week.
Okay, more on that in a minute. Tony, your second pick.
All right, my second pick, Patton Kazire.
Ooh, I was looking at that. I was eyeballing
Good course
that.
history here.
Yeah, Patton's he's a little Nick Taylor-esque too. He's just hot or cold, man. He's gonna come out firing, or he's just gonna be gone by Thursday afternoon.
Putter scares me a little bit, especially here, but I mean at 200-1.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it.
I got a couple heart picks down here in this range that are just kind of friends or caddy's a friend or something. And I'm just gonna, for my first pick of the year, I'm gonna tip the golf gods here. I'm gonna throw a penny in the fountain, tip the golf gods. I'm gonna pick a good guy and believe that even if it doesn't work out for us this week, the golf gods will repay me throughout the season. A friend of the podcast, both player and caddy, genuine good dudes who have come very close before and can get hot. I'm going to go with J-Lo and our boy Chad, Justin Lauer with Chad on the bag. I'm going with those boys at 150.
Love it.
Okay.
Like that?
Love it.
So, all right. So those are the picks. Tony will keep us updated on those. Matt, talk to me about JJ Spawn because I don't think you were quite on. Or maybe you were. Yeah, you were. You were on when you heard me say he was the last person I wanted to win that event.
Oh, when did you say that?
I said it to start the show. There's something about him. Do you know him? Is he a good guy?
We used to have the same agent. Yeah, it's fine. Look, for the
it.
most part, everyone on tour is a decent guy. You can figure out who the assholes are. I don't know, man. I just think he's steady Eddie. He's playing good, and I like this. I like this place for him. The model and the odds this week. I feel like I honestly think JJ is my shortest guy at 45-1.
This bombs this week, isn't it? We're just taking long shots.
I don't have long shots, but just they're all kind of in that range.
Yeah. Who else you got?
Okay, I got Spawn 45-1. Okay. Actually, my favorite. I'm gonna ride Max again, Graserman. I don't want there to be a week where I miss out because it's going to happen soon. It could happen this week, and he could win by 3 or 4 shots. I mean, if he's driving it well, he's going to have just a gajillion looks at birdie out there. That guy's got a ton of offense, and that's what this place is about to me. Ben Griffin 55-1. Not playing bad. I know he just got engaged and got off to a decent start last week, kind of threw it in neutral after that. But I think he's got a good attitude for this tournament. He seems like a kind of a Matt Kuchar-ish guy. happy-go-lucky, glass half
Star.
full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know Dana? Have you ever met Dana?
Who's Dana? His caddy?
No, that's his fiance.
Oh, no. I have no clue. She Ben Griffin's fiance?
Yeah.
How do you know her?
Because she annoys the shit out of me on TikTok on a regular basis.
Friend of the program?
Ben Griffin. Yeah.
Okay.
TikTok.
And then, all right. Let's get off her. And then,
Yeah.
and then the last outright guy, Johnny Vegas, 70-1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Love me some Johnny Vegas. And of course, history is pretty good here for him.
Yeah.
And another guy with just a ton of offense. Look, I've played quite a bit of rounds with him on courses similar to this, like a course where you walk off and 400 par feels like even par. And I've walked off, like Craig Ranch one year I played with Johnny Vegas first 2 rounds. He shot 6 under and it was like, what? Like that wasn't 6 under. It looked like 1 or 2 under, but he just gets it done, man. He moves the crap out of the ball. He's streaky.
Mhm.
Can peel him off in numbers. I think that's a good spot for him this week too. And obviously he's playing well.
I love Johnny V. He's on my season long team too. Drafted him. I think I drafted him on season. I can't remember. What about top 20s or any sort of top bet, placement bet, whatever, before we let you out of here?
Yeah, real quick. A couple top 20s. They're juicy. My low end ones. I got Putnam at plus 320. Look, he just rolls the eyes out of it. Fairly straight, kind of a dinker plotter. Another guy that's just he's not going to shoot himself out of this tournament. He's too good of a putter. I feel like that's going to have a pretty good look. And then we're going to roll with Bezadenhout at plus 260. 2 top 20s in his last 2 starts here. Quality player. Why not? My one flyer, I'm going to ride with Ben Coles again at plus 900. Look, Ben shit the bed on Saturday, but that top 20 was looking pretty good last week. This is another killer spot for him. Amazing putter. Like I said, you can kind of bail on the tough tee shots. Maybe that's his weakness a little bit, but the guy like him rolling it, I like his chances.
Stinky picks from Matt, and I love it.
I don't think they were all stinky.
No, they were not. They were not all stinky, but there were.
Pat? What was the stinkiest out of those?
I'd probably go back to JJ Spawn.
I love it.
I have to go to JJ Spawn.
JJ's gonna shoot like 4 over, and everybody's gonna
like, Matt doesn't know shit. Get him off the show.
But here's the thing with JJ, it's just like last year. I remember this clear as day. I was so high on him for the Sony Open last year, and he sucked.
Really?
And then, of course, this year he almost wins. So I don't know. Sometimes you just remember those things, and it sticks in your head. And that's a bad thing about this. You really got to
kind of a hometownish event for him too. I feel like, isn't he a Southern Cal guy?
Yeah, he played. Didn't he play college?
Played at San Diego State, but like I feel like he grew up, inland a little bit.
Yeah.
East of the 5.
Good stuff, man. We appreciate it. Listen, drop some bombs for us in the Discord. Any intel you hear on the golf course or condities before they tee it up on Thursday. And if you hear of, players that have a good pro-am partner that you talk about, a buddy that they play with every year, drop that in the Discord for us too. We'd love to know those. Because I don't know any other way you figure those out unless you just you're in the know like Matt Effrey. And you're gearing up because Waste Management's coming up, right? You're getting that ready for
we got Waste Management. I think that's when they're debuting the gambling feed on ESPN Plus, and then we got the PGA show coming up with the clothing company. So we are freaking all hands on deck right now. It's been some madhouse around here.
We need to do some sort of content with you from the PGA show. We'll figure that out.
Are you guys gonna be there?
No. We just need to like FaceTime or something and do like a scavenger hunt of, book bags. And
I enjoy like walking the PGA. Like it is sick. All the stuff they have there. Yeah.
You can nerd out on some stuff, and you can also find yourself in a real weird spot. There's the weird section, the very, very weird section where they stick people that like made something out of their garage and
made some bad choices.
Yeah.
All
right. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you.
Later.
Talk to you next week. Good luck. Matt Effrey, everybody. Killing it. Pat, you know what I forgot? We have a big announcement. We have a huge announcement.
We do. Big.
We kind of teased this, but it's official. Tour Junkies is going to do Ireland. Pew, 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 pew. TJ does Ireland. We're going to Ireland, baby. Golf trip to Ireland. That's right. We're going July 20th through the 26th. We're going to Dublin. Look at what's included. If you're on YouTube, this is what's included. Hotel accommodations at a couple different hotels. I'm not going to begin to pronounce the names of those. We are playing 5 courses in the top 30 ranked in all of Ireland, 2 in the top 10 in all of Ireland. It's going to be awesome. We're going to do some content from there with listener participation. We're going to go to the Guinness Storehouse and do a tour, a Jameson whiskey experience as well, a group dinner, a couple group meals. It is going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be prizes, welcome pack. It's just amazing. Your transfers from the course and the hotel are going to be included. Obviously, golf is included. A couple meals, dinner, etc. You really got to cover your caddy fees, your flights, and a few meals, and you are in Ireland. Look at some of the pictures here of these courses we're playing on the coast, Dublin, near the east coast of Ireland. I will say you do have to be signed up and ready to go. It's sometime in April, isn't it, Pat? Why don't you fill in any details I'm missing here as I scroll through these amazing photos on YouTube?
Basically, just think about tax day. If you're in the U.S., it's tax day. By the middle of April, look, what better way to use your refund? If you get a refund.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully this year you get a refund and just put it directly onto this website and go ahead and get you reserve a spot. Because it's going to go fast, and I think it's going to be a fantastic trip. I can't wait to be there. And,
we're telling you now, you got a month before Valentine's Day. So if you need to really butter the lady up for this, you could plan ahead and do that, and then hit her with the Ireland thing here in a little, another week or two after. But look at these pictures. I mean, this is going to be a beautiful spot. Me and Pat presence. It's going to be electric. So we're going to take a limited number of folks. So you need to get involved. The link we're going to put in the description. That link will take you to everything you need to know. That's where you pay. That's where you sign up. All of the above is covered on that link. So knock yourself out. Feel free to DM us or reach out with any questions. You can email us info@tourjunkies.com if you have any questions. But we would love for you to go. Love for as many listeners as possible to get there. We're going to invite some friends and family too. So you need to sign up if you want to get there. It's going to be a great trip. Tour Junkies going to Ireland. Our first overseas golf trip. It's going to be fantastic in terms of with the community.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hustle. Let's talk about some other outright bets that we like. Pat, why don't you give me any other outrights, and then I'll hit you with mine. And we'll do some top 20s.
Yeah, so I've got, of my 5 favorite outrights, Finau, I'll go ahead and say he was part of the season.
What is it about Finau you're loving right now?
I just like the odds, man. Getting him at 25-1. I get there, maybe an injury. He's got a good history here. I mean, I think, if he's playing, he's obviously there's a good reason for it. Now, the last few years haven't been great. I mean, he's finished in the top 25, but he had a 4th and a 14th back in 2021. So I think of all the guys up here, if I can get him at 25-1 in that range, I'll take it. I'm staying on Nico. I really feel bad that I didn't play him last week because he's just been just fantastic. 60-1, I believe, is the best number I see there on him.
Totally with you.
I like Tom Hoagie. Matt liked Tom Hoagie last week, so I'm going to steal him from him last week and bring him into the fold this week. This is another event that he's played well. The guy can putt. He's a ball striker. Feels like a great guy that when you think of Tom Hoagie and playing in a Pro-Am, he's somebody that's going to do well in a Pro-Am, and he's not going to get all flustered by playing all these different courses. I mean, he won Pebble Beach, which is, kind of the same deal as far as a Pro-Am and everything. So I like Tom Hoagie. I like Nico at 60-1. I like Sepp a little bit here at 65-1.
We got to talk about Sepp.
Don't give me the whole. I don't want to hear he can't have enough birdies because
no. I could not agree with you more on Sepp. I think he is the biggest misprice. He's the biggest misprice on this whole board.
Yes.
I'm looking at Sepp and I'm like, how many tour wins does he have? He's a Ryder Cup player. He's played well at the Olympics, and he's the same odds as Ben Griffin, who's never won, Danny McCarthy before he withdrew, who's never won, Will Zalatoris, whatever, Patrick Fishburne. What has Patrick Fishburne done? Eric Cole, who's never won. He's got better odds than Cam Young, who's never won. Same odds as Daniel Berger, who's making a comeback. Same odds as Adam Hadwin. When's the last time he satisfied anybody? Adam Hadwin doesn't satisfy anybody, ever, including his annoying wife on X. I'm really going after the Canadians tonight, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
I think
Jason Day.
I mean, Sepp is fantastic. I love him this week, 65-1. The other one, Matt mentioned as a top 20, I believe, but Seabez at 75-1. It makes a little sense to me there. He's played very well, second here last year. So I like Seabez. That's the longest one I've got. Now, I did mention Carson Young earlier in the season long at 170-1. I think if you want to dabble in a little 171, Carson Young would be the guy I would go with.
Yeah. All right. I'm with you 100% on Nico, with you 100% on Sepp. Hoagie's on my short list, but I don't know. If I have to limit it to 5, he might be my 6-man out for now. Could totally change, but he might be my 6-man out. Speaking of going back to the well on a guy who just continues to play really well, how can we ignore Harry Hall? That guy, he was in it. He had one bad hole. I mean, he had a couple, maybe 2 bad holes, but one really bad hole on Sunday. Otherwise, he was right there with Keegan Bradley. He's still 40-1 and playing quite nicely with a T8 and a T10 in the 2 Hawaii events. Like, Harry Hall's dealing right now. Ball striking's improved. Off the tee plays improved. He's a really strong putter. I think you have to get on Harry Hall. I could see him winning again this week. And then I have 2 bombs. So Harry Hall, Nico, Sepp, and Johnny Vegas also at 75-1, kind of depending on where you look. Matt already talked about him. I had him at the Century, played nicely. I mean, I like Johnny V was coming back from an injury over the last couple of years. Like, he's still a really good player. Like Matt said, hits it really far, still moves it, scores on par 5s, loves a birdie fest, easygoing guy, multiple-time PGA Tour winner. Why not? And then I'm going with Eric Van Rooyen at 120-1. I like me some EVR. He would have been, my pick in the season long bet. Wasn't quite 150-1 though. T6, T25 his last 2 times playing this spot. We know Eric. We know Austin Alex, his caddy. 2 great guys, easygoing guys. Couldn't probably be any easier to deal with from a pro-am perspective. Probably get along with everybody. I could see him enjoying and kind of embracing the pro-am vibe with some good partners. And I just think he's a killer when he's in it. He hasn't done much lately, but I like the 120-1 number on EVR. Okay. Top 20s. My locks are Harry Hall at +170 and Sepp at +230. Those are long numbers for locks, but I think, Matt kind of talked about how this is kind of a long shot spot. We know that from years past. Ton of long shot winners, ton of long shots up on the leaderboard. Let's do it. So I'm going with the long shots on the top 20, number 2. And I'm probably going to piss you off with these because I already took Sepp, but my only bomb that I had written down at 4-1 or longer is at 5-1, and it's Carson Young. It's the only bomb I have written down, so it's the only one I can go to.
Damn.
I'm sorry. We can just do the same ones. We can.
No, I'll tell you what I'll do because I actually I'll start with that because I did have Carson Young and we could do the same. But I liked Gerard a lot this week, and Matt just talked about him. He's 4-1, top 20. He might be able to get him a little bit longer, so I'll go with Gerard there for my official top 20 long shot. We haven't talked about him at all, but I think as far as the lock's concerned, I could see. I'm just going to go with pretty much even money Cantlay, and then I'm going to go with Grazerman at +180.
I like Grazerman a lot. Okay, so Grazerman and Gerard, nice. All right, any DFS, like, what's the 3 names that regard like chalk or whatever? You're still going to do it. You're gonna take a bite.
I think the 3 biggest ones that I will take between the various price ranges. I think Sung J M, I'm definitely going to eat that chalk. Same. I think Harry Hall is going to be a little bit chalky. I'm going to eat that. And I think Nico is going to be chalky also, and I'll eat that.
I would add Nico to that. I was going to say Sepp and Hoagie. I think Hoagie could get a little steam. But I like the price. I like the value on Hoagie. Pivots. I'm interested in pulling the trigger on Siwoo this week. Past champion at this event. Not done great to start the Hawaii swing, but I could see it bouncing back for Siwoo. And in DFS, I'm willing to take a little nibble. I don't want I don't love the number outright. Don't know that he's quite there from the outright standpoint, but I almost said stand perspective, not standpoint. I was crossing standpoint and
You're starting to like, this is because you're getting up in age and you're getting to like where I was 7 or 8 years ago. So you're starting to do these things that I did.
Okay.
So
Maybe it's the Manhattan talking. Siwoo, I think Vegas is going to be a pivot, but also I'm you know what you know who I'm itching to play that we haven't had an opportunity to play yet, but we feasted on him in the summer and the fall. It's time for the Bo show, baby. I'm rolling out Bo Hostler this week.
okay.
You know, you can spray it off the tee a little bit, which he does.
Mm-hmm.
Great putter. I think Bo is a little sneaky.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. I keep looking at him and I don't know if I could pull the trigger, but I get it. For me, I think the pivots are I'm producer Tony. I'm gonna wake you up a little bit here. I'm throwing you a bone because I think Wyndham Clark might be a little bit of a pivot play this week in DFS. I think he's going to be super low owned. Everybody still doesn't know what they're going to get out of Wyndham. I'll take him up top. He'll be one that I do like. I think a guy like Seabez, who we talked about earlier, as a potential top 20, he's one that I think could be is going to be a good pivot play off of guys like Sepp. But I don't know if Sepp is going to be that chalky, but he should be. It's 7,600. He should be chalky. And then I think, man, I'm so tempted to play Willie Z in that 8K range. And I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think that's an issue. People love Willie Z though.
But I don't think he's going to be chalky.
Maybe he will. Yeah. Okay. What about your football golf parlay bet, Pat?
I really like this one this week, DB. So I'm going to start with the golf one. I'll go with the top 30 number. Top 30 number that is on DK at plus 140 for Nico. And then I'm going to go with Mark Andrews anytime touchdown score at plus 150. By the way, he had 5 or 6 straight games with a touchdown before this past playoff game. So he was on a roll, but so maybe
they didn't need to throw it in that game. They didn't ran it.
Yeah, I think they're going to need to though against the Bills. I like them to win that game, by the way, against the Bills. I think this is the Ravens' year. But that number is basically plus 500, right on the number. So I love that at 5-1. I'm going to take Mark Andrews anytime TD score and Nico top 30.
Speaking of the Ravens running all over the place, one of my favorite X posts from that game was somebody that just said Sydney Sweeney on top, Derrick Henry on the bottom.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway,
did you hear my dog barking there?
Yeah. What was the deal?
That's unusual because I used to not have.
Yeah. What is that? Golby?
Yeah, he's out there barking.
Oh, okay.
You've never heard him bark before here where I am right now, but yeah, he's here. By the way, can I talk about the Discord, DB, for just a second?
Sure.
The Discord's been hot. I mean, we're rolling in people left and right. We got new pricing structure. We had a couple people buy the lifetime Discord membership.
Yeah, we got lifetime Discord people in there now. What a sick couple
$500. I mean, for lifetime, you got a $5 kind of teeny, just stick it in a little bit, and then you got the $10
flip that.
You get all of it, and then if you just want to do $99 for the year, you can do that. So
$10 you get all of it.
Yeah,
jeez,
you get all of it. So I mean,
that's either very sad or extremely generous.
Either way. You need to get in the Discord. There's going to be a link in the description and the YouTube video. Go to our website, tourjunkies.com. It's right there at the top. Golby's Nut Hut. Go in there, check it out. And, start with $5. Start with a little teeny tip in if you want to.
Pat did the first look show this morning, too. That was amazing. I can't believe you didn't lead with that. We're 55 minutes in, and you haven't led with the fact that you did the first look show this week for the first time ever.
Yeah, and we're gonna do it every week. We're gonna do it every week. We're just gonna look. We're not gonna do picks really. I'm trying. It's hard to not do picks, DB. You did the first look show for a long time. It's hard to not really like. I just want to. Yeah, but this is the show we do picks on. I just want to try to get I want to give the people hear what the odds look like right now. Okay. Yeah. And that maybe these are some first clicks that I want to, make a click on. Here's a good example. Sam Burns. When we were doing the first look show this morning, he was at 20-1 on several sites, and now he's all the way down to 14-1 on most of them. So
yeah, that's what I did is I would say, and there wouldn't be many. In some weeks there would be none. But if the weather was good and you're playing dome golf like this, I can tell you for a fact, had I done the first look show today, I would have said, I am betting Sepp Straka. Sepp Straka is going on the card. I'm betting him right now. The end. He's not going to not be on the card. There were certain names, usually not more than 2.
Maybe I'll add that into. I did. It's the first show, DB.
I'm telling you, I did do picks. I know it's hard. It is hard, but I did do picks. It just wouldn't be a lot of them, and then I would make sure they were on my card at on Wednesday. But yeah, great to see you do the first look show. Excited about that. Let's hit my parlay, and then I have my New Year's resolutions to go over, Pat. And I don't know. We'll see how those go. My parlay is a three-legger plus 535, 2 football bets, a PGA Tour bet. And my football bets have been good. My football bets have been on. They were last week. PGA Tour bet didn't come through. It's on DraftKings. First leg, golf leg, is Harry Hall at plus 180 AE, plus 180 for a top 20, plus 180. Then I'm going, eat just all the juice. Give me all the juice for the Kansas City Chiefs to win. Just the Chiefs money line against the Texans. Minus 410 with give me the points, baby. Give me the points on the Commanders. Coming off a hot win against Tampa Bay. Got to go play the Lions. Lions are obviously hot. Lions are a great team. I believe the Lions win that game. But I believe in Jaden Daniels' ability to cover the spread. I think that team can score. Detroit's defense is improving. Yes, they've gotten better since they lost Aiden Hutchinson. Not better, they were better with Aiden. But when Aiden first went out, they were really bad. And then all of a sudden now they're a little bit better. But I think the Commanders can cover 9.5. So I'm taking the plus 9.5 on the commies for plus 535 on the parlay. Let's hit one.
You're falling for Jaden Daniels, aren't you? The country is.
Yeah,
he's a stud.
I'm a Jaden Daniels guy. I like him.
DB.
Yeah.
What's the reasoning behind taking the points with the Commanders, but not taking the points there with the Chiefs? I feel like, I had the Chargers over the Texans on a couple different things and just got completely screwed by them. But I am just,
I don't even remember the line. What's the line for the Chiefs Texans?
It's right now it's at 9.
I could also see the Chiefs though, doing the Chiefs, what they've done most of the year, which is they've just had close games. I mean, they played in far inferior teams closely. And I also think there's a little something to the Chiefs having some time off, good or bad. It is what it is. We definitely saw it in the college football playoffs. It was a bad thing to have the bye. I don't believe in the Texans enough to actually overcome it and win an Arrowhead, but the spread scares me. To take all those points on the Chiefs side scares me. I almost thought about just taking them out because it wouldn't really change than just making it a 2-legger with Harry Hall and the commies, but yeah, I just threw it in there for a little extra. So congrats on your Eagles victory, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
A lot of room for improvement there, but
yeah. All right, let's get to the New Year's resolutions DB edition. A lot of people are going to turn off the podcast at this point, which I totally understand. It's totally fine. I will start with the highlights just before everybody turns it off. My 2024 resolutions, I had 8 resolutions. I did 2 of them. So about as good as you, Pat.
Yeah, about the same percentage there.
But there was one elusive goal that I had 2 years in a row, 2023 and 2024, because I didn't hit it in 2023, but I did hit it in 2024. And that is, I finally got a prostate exam.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Good for you.
Yeah. I got my, I'll say I got my prostate checked. And Everything's fine, but I did it. So got her done. Thanks.
Hey, get your health. You get your prostate checked, folks.
Yeah. Get your this is sponsored by Orvis.
Yeah,
Get your whole double checked, looked at. The only other one that I accomplished is I read 4 books. I did read 4 books. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's good.
These are the ones I missed. While we're on the personal note, I said I wanted to run once a week. I did that, I believe, 1 time. So maybe that was a typo, and I meant once a year because I did do that, but I only did it once. And then I said I wanted to plan podcast agendas well in advance. And I did not do that. I think I did it until maybe, I don't know.
I feel like you started doing it.
Yeah. Probably at least fell off. I know I fell off before the Masters. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Tony might correct me, but I think I fell off before that.
We planned the plan.
Yeah, we did plan the plan. We were halfway there.
There's a little in there.
Yeah.
Also, I found this too.
And I'm not leaving this building until there is a finger up my ass.
What the heck?
I forgot about that.
Was that past advice to me when I was talking to him about my?
I believe I was trying to pump you up there for your prostate exam.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Golf goals. I hit none of them. Birdie all 27 holes at Champions Retreat. I did not do that. I think I birdied like 14, which is less than the year before. But I will say the club was closed down for a lot more of the year than typical, including the.
Yeah, I think that's like a scratch. Like you get to do that one over, just like
Yeah, and it's tough with 27 holes with as little golf as I played last year. Obviously had some family stuff going on, health stuff going on, and hurricane going on, and all the other bull crap. Course was closed for 6 weeks. We're under new management. Now they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to close for all of August and half of July. So that's my excuse. I said I wanted to collect golf stuff from courses that I play, like pencils from like new, nice courses that I play. I didn't do it. But I also don't know that I played any course. Like I didn't play any fancy courses last year. I didn't do any new courses last year.
You played Old Barnwell.
Nope. That was December 2023.
Okay. Well,
that's what gave me the idea to do this on last year's show.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I am supposed to play Old Barnwell here pretty soon. I said I wanted to win 5 flag matches. I only won 1, and I took that one from an Old Barnwell member at Champions Retreat. And I have his flag from Old Barnwell right behind me, so I've got him home and away. Shout out Corey. And I didn't do any. And then I said I wanted to play from 100 yards and in only and shoot a 27. I don't think I even played 1 time from 100 yards in it. So there's that. This year's goals. I don't have this isn't great. I had a hard time. This was probably the hardest year for me to come up with these goals. I want to run back the golf pencils thing, knowing we're going to Ireland. We're also going to Bethpage for the Ryder Cup. We're going to play golf in that area. I plan on playing more golf this year, so I want to do the pencil thing and start collecting the pencils from every club. I also said I want to have 3 flag bet victories. So I lowered the number a little bit, but I know I'm going to have some more opportunities. 3 flag bets, and I want 1 in Ireland. I'd love to have one from you, but even if it's not you, it's okay. I want to win 3 flag bets, including 1 in Ireland, 3 scalps. That's what I want. Our flag bet is the best thing we do when we're on the golf course. If you don't know about it, message us. Golf, I need to improve my bunker play, especially before we go to Ireland. My bunker play in the last year, it's like I don't even know. It's like I've never been in a bunker. Like I didn't even know they existed. And I've been playing golf since I was 19. So I really need some help there. I need to figure out what I need to do to play in bunkers better.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to make this goal attainable. I want to walk 2 rounds, just 2 rounds. That's it. With just wedges and a putter in my hand and play from 100 yards and in. That's what I want to do. I want to do that. I need to do that. I need to work on that 100 yards and in stuff. And if I can just do it 2 times, I think I'll enjoy it. I'll have a drink in my hand, take it easy, and just have some fun. But it's always the hard choice because like you don't want to do that. You want to play the full course and hit every club and do all that stuff. But I need to do that. Preferably like that would be really good before a member guest. I think that would be good. Do you have any thoughts on the golf goals?
No, I think they're all attainable. I think you did You did well because you're kind of looking forward to how this year is going to go. We got the Ireland trip. You're going to get some more flag matches. I think this is the 100 yards and in thing. I feel like should be easier than
That I made it last year.
than you made it last year. But we'll
I
see.
play golf.
Yeah, just play some golf.
My non-golf goals, I had a hard time, man. I don't know. I'm gonna up the book count to 6. So I'm gonna read 6 books. I'm gonna keep reading. I've been reading good. Been a good reader. So I want to do 6 books, and I got to get all those in the last like 10 months because I'm doing other stuff before I read books. So this was a weird one, but I had this thought. Pat, I'm quite the dancer. You know that about me, right?
Yeah,
I'm a good dancer.
Yeah,
I like to dance, but and my wife likes to dance, and we like to dance. We like to, Now when I say I like to dance, I like to go to like wedding receptions. I'll come to your wedding reception if you need like a planted dancer, like the TGL needed people planted in the stands to cheer. If you just need somebody to get the dance floor going, I'm your guy. Like I'm not gonna be amazing. I'm not gonna be like making anybody go wow, but I will get it going and I'll keep it going. Bar mitzvah. I do weddings, bar mitzvahs, quinceañeras or whatever. I can't remember what those are. What else? Funerals. Some people dance at funerals. They have a dance at a funeral. And
they do.
I'm sure some people do. Some people do. Maybe Amish people do it. If you have a yard sale or something where there's a dance, I'll do that. I don't do school dances because it got underage stuff kind of gets. But anyway, I like to do that kind of dancing. My wife would love to do like real dancing or do like line dance, like go or like ball.
Oh, you need to do some ballroom dancing. I can ballroom dance.
Well, Pat, I took social for a couple of years, my friend.
Well,
So.
I taught social for a couple of years. My friend.
That's how it shows you. Okay, well, fine, whatever.
Teach you the waltz. Teach you a little Amos Moses.
Oh God. Anyway, I just think I want to take the wife to do some different dancing, not the kind I was talking about before. You know what I mean? I think she'd really like that. I think that'll go a long way. Probably be good to do before Ireland. That'd probably be a good thing. Maybe schedule one before, one after. That could be a good plan. So I want to take the wife dancing. And then the last one I said is like, can I say this? Like, and this may shock some people, because especially people who have been longtime listeners of the show. And this has not happened intentionally, but I've felt it happening. And then I've noticed it as I've gotten older. I just turned 41, and I've noticed it about myself, and I'm embracing it. I'm not resisting it. I'm embracing it. I'm not saying I'm not fully going to like flip the switch. It's going to be an evolution. It's a big boat to turn around. But at 41, I've started to realize there are things hanging up in my closet that I shouldn't wear anymore. So I wrote down that I need to have an adult, mature wardrobe evolution. I need to work on that. And it's going to be the whole year thing. Like I said, it can't happen. I can't just go in there and start chucking shirts out of my closet and reload with Orvis blue polos or whatever that is. So it's not going to be a full evolution right off the bat, but I need to start kind of turning it around. I can't wear cheetah print anymore, cheetah print golf polos or, stuff with just shit all over it. I don't know. I just feel like I feel like I'm starting to move past it, and I've got to mature a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
I could not have. This is the greatest thing ever. I'm so excited about this. I'm going to help you achieve this goal, DB.
No, you're not going to help me do anything. I am not going that far.
I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm just saying, like, I will go in there and rip the stuff out of there that I think you need to get out of there if you need to.
Tony has a comment, I think.
DB, I'm glad you brought this up because I'm like afraid of this too. I'm 36, but I'm always asking my wife, like, hey, I know I'm not cool enough to pull this off.
Yeah.
But like, do I look dumb in these joggers? And I love joggers. I absolutely love them. But like a shirt with a little bit like too much flashy print on it or something like that. I feel you on that one.
Now, like joggers, I'm still way in on. They're comfortable. I think I have great ankles personally. I don't know about your ankles. I've never seen them, but I have great ankles. And, I usually have a good shoe game. I think that helps. Joggers, I'm still kind of there. It's more the loud, shirts and stuff. Some of that.
But you're not going to get rid of Bad Birdie, I'm sure. Your Bad Birdie shirts.
Some of them probably need to go.
Might need to
go. Having a hard time. There's a spectrum. There's a spectrum of Bad Birdie and Swanee's gear and all. There's definitely a spectrum. And there's a lot of it in my closet that I just feel like at some point this year I'm gonna have to, cue the piano ballad at the end of Family Matters when Carl's having a real good dad talk to Urkel or something. Where there's going to be a serious. I know he wasn't Urkel's dad, but he had a lot of.
Yeah.
You cue the piano music, and I'm gonna just have to slowly pull it off the hanger and kind of give it one last look, and maybe put it on one time, take it back off, hand it to my 15-year-old, 14-year-old.
Let it touch your skin just one last time.
I think you should just take it to Goodwill.
Just a clean.
Think how good you would feel like if you're walking around, you're on a, I don't know, somewhere, and you see someone wearing your old.
Oh, that is kind of true.
Your old leopard shirt.
And you kind of and maybe on the inside before I give it away, I write a little message to myself on it, like on a tag or something, just like a little message, and then I can walk up to him and be like, "Sir, do you mind untucking that polo and let me? Can I just see the tag on the inside of that?"
I wrote myself an inspirational message.
Like a Bible verse on it or on the inside or something. Nothing real. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going through that right now. So life, life.
Life.
I wonder if any of our podcast listeners are going through the same thing. They say your podcast audience grows with you. And, if that's the case for me, maybe that's the case for you. There's thousands of people who listen to this show. I wish there were 10s, 20s, 50s, hundreds of thousands that listen to this show. But, maybe that's you. And let us know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Other than that, I think that's all we got. That puts the Amex in the books. See you in the Discord. See you on SoBet. I'll bet the number. Thanks to our friends at Underdog as well. Let's have a great week. Bend over your bookie and may your screens be green. See ya. Out. Tour Junkies featuring David Barnett is not an affiliate of CWM LLC. Opinions expressed by the host or guests do not reflect those of CWM LLC. CWM LLC does not endorse gambling or the entities promoted by the Tour Junkies podcast. David is a non-registered representative of CWM LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.